Hey everyone, I'm Oliver, and my background is in psychology. On this channel, we dive into weekly analyses of anime characters. Today, we're exploring Goku and the Peter Pan syndrome. Before we jump in, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and a huge thank you for helping us reach 50 subscribers in under 2 weeks. I didn't expect such interest in the psychology of anime, so I'm excited, and now we're aiming for 100 subscribers. Let's get started. So, what is Peter Pan syndrome? The term comes from Peter Pan, the main character in a story by Scottish novelist James Matthew Barrie. Peter Pan was a cheerful, brave boy who feared nothing. Sound familiar? Just like Goku, right? But the key trait is that Peter Pan didn't want to grow up. Peter Pan syndrome describes someone who refuses to grow up and avoid the responsibilities of adulthood. This syndrome was extensively studied by American psychologist Dan Kiley, who wrote The Peter Pan Syndrome, The Man Who Never Grew Up, a fantastic read if you haven't checked it out. But what does this have to do with Goku? Does he really have Peter Pan syndrome? Let's break it down. Goku is undoubtedly one of the strongest characters in the Dragon Ball universe. Even if he's not the strongest at any given time, he always becomes the strongest through relentless training and a drive to surpass any opponent. But despite his strength, Goku often shows significant immaturity throughout the series. But wait, you might wonder, how can someone who saves the Earth be immature? Isn't that a huge responsibility? Here's the thing. Goku often avoids responsibilities, whether as a father, a husband, or even by putting Earth in danger just to focus on his training. Take Gohan, for example. He was basically raised by Piccolo, not Goku. And Goten, he was raised by Gohan. Goku often makes excuses to avoid duties, focusing instead on his greatest passion, training and fighting, as is typical for a Saiyan. During the Cell Saga, Goku chose to stay in the other world rather than be with Chi-Chi, missing out on seeing Goten grow up. Growing up is uncomfortable, as highlighted in Sergio Cine's insightful book, The Society That Doesn't Want to Grow Up. More people today are reluctant to take on responsibilities, struggling to accept they're no longer teenagers. Goku never seems to accept that he has grown up. He has children, but continues to act the same way, leaving Chi-Chi and his kids to deal with the consequences. Chi-Chi has plenty of reasons to complain. Goku doesn't work, doesn't help with the kids, and focuses too much on his training instead of his family. Yes, we know Goku is a Saiyan, and Saiyans age differently with stronger personalities, but comparing Goku to Vegeta, even though it took Vegeta time to mature, he eventually prioritized his family above everything else. Another characteristic of Peter Pan syndrome is egocentrism and narcissism. Narcissism involves placing yourself above others, being selfish and thinking only you matter. Sigmund Freud's Introduction to Narcissism, Essays in Metapsychology, connects narcissism to childhood. Children naturally focus on themselves and believe they are the center of the world. When this trait carries into adulthood, it can indicate Peter Pan syndrome. Goku often puts his training and personal achievements before his family, and while this sometimes leads to him saving Earth, it's more a consequence of his actions than his primary goal. Vegeta, on the other hand, has shown more maturity in this regard, even though he's also a Saiyan. There's an iconic scene in Dragon Ball where Goku invites Vegeta to train, and Vegeta declines because his daughter Bra is about to be born. Goku doesn't understand why someone would want to be present for their child's birth instead of training. Goku struggles to let go of his comfort, a common struggle, fear of growing up and taking on responsibilities. But here's the deal. Denying these responsibilities can lead to serious issues because the reality of growing up and accepting responsibilities will eventually hit you. If it hits you when you're young, around 20, it might be tough but manageable. However, if it catches you off guard at 35 or 40, it can be a harsh wake-up call. Peter Pan didn't want to grow up because being a child is appealing. You get to imagine endless possibilities, plan your future, and avoid reality. But it's not about enjoying things like cartoons or video games, activities often linked to childhood. That doesn't mean you have Peter Pan syndrome. Peter Pan syndrome is more about egocentrism, avoiding responsibility, and refusing to accept that you're now an adult. It's about not acknowledging that time has passed, and that's okay. Life has different phases. In the GT saga, Goku turns back into a child and seems to embrace it. possibly thinking, now I really don't have to take on responsibilities. Goku becomes a grandfather, but remains the same, much like Peter Pan, refusing to grow up. Fortunately, others were there for Goten and especially Gohan. Remember the Cell saga when Cell was about to kill Gohan? Piccolo pleads with Goku to intervene, but Goku insists Gohan needs to get angry to unleash his full power. Piccolo, who had grown close to Gohan, explains that Gohan isn't like Goku. He doesn't enjoy fighting and is different. At that moment, Goku realizes how little he knows about his son, largely because he wasn't present as a father. Goku missed much of Goten's childhood, only meeting him when he was 7 years old. Even while in the other world, he could have asked King Kai to check on Goten. But he didn't, because it wasn't important to him. In Mariana Figueiredo's Full Nest, Kangaroo Generation, it's pointed out that growing up isn't as bad as it might seem. Yes, it's tough. You have to let go of some things. But it's necessary. Each phase of life has its positives, and Goku would be much stronger if he had matured. I hope one day we'll see Goku truly grow as a character. That's it for today. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share your anime and character suggestions for future analyses. Share this content if you enjoyed it. It's made with care, science, and responsibility. And if you're struggling with these issues in a way that's impacting your life, please seek professional help. See you next time.